So once we understand something and learn it, to keep that into our community, because when you look at other communities, the dollar goes through the community and cycles through multiple times, but a lot of time with us, it goes in and goes right out. Why is that so important for us to have these dialogues?
So in the African world, we're called, primarily minority community, we're called SHUs, super heavy users, because when $19 comes in, only one stays in the community, and it goes right back out. And the importance of sharing this is very important, but however, growing up where we grew up, you had to have a very thick shell. And that's one of the problems that we have because we never knew what was gonna happen. Our grandparents don't come from legacy wealth, and our great-grandparents don't come from legacy wealth,
Absolutely.
right? So we walk in the room as entrepreneurs going, man, I gotta be tough. Entrepreneurs, at the end of the day, the really successful ones, they're vulnerable. So a lot of times, I gotta tell you, so let me tell you my story. I almost went bankrupt 3 times. Once when, before I started FUBU, once when I had that house, and then after I had 20 million liquid.
Hold up. So after 20 million liquid, you still almost went. So break down how that could happen. Especially
I didn't know about the tax code in the country. I had 20 million liquid, so I paid the highest level of taxes, 45%. All right, so now I'm at 10%. I have 10 million, right?
Yep.
Well, of course, I see everybody who's wealthy. Well, I must fly private, right? What's wrong with me? Why would I go to New York to California for $50,000? I'll get there 2 hours earlier than you, or I can go for $2,000. I was just poor. You telling me I can't wait 2 hours for $48,000?
It's absolutely.
Right? I was trying to keep up with the Joneses. Somebody told me you need to buy jewelry because jewelry appreciates. No, stones appreciate. My $400,000 Mickey Mouse head with crushed diamonds never appreciated. Well, then of course my cousin and all that. Oh, you want to start a magazine and other shit that I didn't know about? Absolutely. And then when you go and buy the homes or whatever the case is, you're like, well, the home costs $2 million. Let me buy it for $2 million. You forgot. You got to decorate that thing. You got to pay land taxes on it. Now I'm into $4 million, and I got to buy all my friends and my family a couple of cars. Done. So what did I start doing? I started doing something very simple. I started watching Jim Cramer, Mad Money, every single day. It comes on at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock at night. I watched it every day for 3 years, and by the time I turned around, I had $40 million back in the bank. Wow. We're not taught financial intelligence. I gotta tell people this. So don't feel bad because you don't have financial intelligence. The school system is an 80-year-old school system where they're teaching, and there's no conspiracy, they're teaching us though about going to shop, and some are doing coding now, but they're teaching us how to be good employees. And our own teachers, who are our most valuable commodity in this country, they may know a lot about science and math, absolutely. Teachers and veterans, right? They know everything about science and math and history, but they weren't taught it. So here's the data right now, right? You can go to school right now, and 50% of the kids graduating college today will retire with a job title that does not exist today. Wow. So that means if you don't learn financial intelligence or just learn how money operates, well then at 16, 17, you can get predatory loans for $600,000-$700,000 that you won't pay up into your 50s for an education you don't even know you want to have, right? Instead, what would you do with just $100,000 of that money? And digital course. By the way, we're gonna give away one of my digital courses, right? What would you do with that, right? That's what you do, because if you
Give it up for that.
Absolutely. Because if you don't know how money works, well, here's what it was an honor for me to be an ambassador for President Obama, going around the world. The reason we went around the world to teach about entrepreneurship and the access to capital is because it's a threat to our country and our world. Because if a man and woman, when we went to Kenya, we found out if a man didn't have $50 a month to keep the lights on in Kenya, you know what happens? Well, the woman, if she has a child, she's not going to stop. I need this for us. Well, domestic abuse goes up, right? And then what happens is somebody says, I got $100 if you hold this pistol, right? So if you don't have money, you end up having this debt. Well, then it's expensive to eat in this country and be healthy, right? So now you eat the cheapest things. They're made of the worst things. They're made of butter, sugar, and salt. Now you're medically fucked up. So you have to have this financial intelligence, and it's not hard. I know it. You just got to constantly work at it, and every year there's something new to look at. I'll give you an example. When COVID happened, maybe about not in 2023, this is what happened. The law was passed that if you wanted to go up, because they wanted restaurants back in, if you had a business expense dinner, you put that on your company card or a dinner with somebody, that was a 100% write-off. Now, you were in a hotel and you took the hotel key and you went to the restaurant and you used that, that was only 50% write-off because you used the hotel key. Instead of just taking the simple credit card and taking it out and putting it in a restaurant.
I did not know that, Jewel, until you just said it.
You probably lost $250,000 that
Well,
year.
at least.
These are simple tax codes were made in this country to help the rich. But everybody has access to these tax codes. But again, going back to vulnerability, when I was in the hood, I didn't ask anybody anything. I remember the first time that I went to, not the first time, but was doing really well, I went to this mansion in Colorado. I walk in the mansion. I have the bodyguard with me because the East Coast, West Coast battle was going on. I had all the jewelry, I got the Mickey Mouse head on, I'm feeling good about myself. Jeff Bezos is over there, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, they're talking. No Gucci belts in the room. This place is trash. They don't have the Hurricane. Remember Hennessy and Alizé?
Yeah.
This is trash. Nothing to drink out there. I'm in the corner. I'm not talking to nobody. You know what? I never talked to them because they were like, look at this dude in the corner.
What year is this? When is this?
This was like 2004.
Okay.
I realized that true entrepreneurs, you know what you do? You walk up to people and be like, yo, I know him. I know about this right here. I don't know about that. I know you know. You can help me with that. I can help you with this. And that's when you walk in that room vulnerable, people want to get behind you. If even your accountants, I asked my accountants, why did I lose $20 million? They were like, I thought you knew already. I thought you knew what you were doing. Every time I tried to tell you something, you were like this. Yo, homie, I made this money myself. You just an accountant. My ego was in the way. So the reality is, you may not see somebody who's filthy rich, like a financial advisor, but they were trained in something very, very specific on how to understand and work money and finance. So always ask as many questions you go in the room. And if somebody sits there and makes fun of you, like, yo, you whack, you don't know, you know, they weren't gonna fuck with you anyway.
Absolutely.
The people that fuck with you are the people who are trying to get someplace too. And that's your mentors.
And you know, you're talking about financial literacy. So when I met, so people have been asking me, what are you doing with these Earn Your Leisure guys? When I met them, it was right after the pandemic. I had one property in LA. My property was a $3 million property. And I wanted to move, I was gonna sell it. And I met MG, the mortgage guy, I met Matt first. And he told me, hey, don't sell it, you should rent it out. I turned the rental into a business for myself. Now, by the time I've had all these meetings with Rashad and Troy and Ian and all of these guys, I've completely diversified my portfolio. I have over 10 million in real estate now, and it's completely changed my life. I've been on TV and been in rooms around rich people for the better part of the last 15 years. But opening myself up to people that may even be younger than me and being humble enough to say, hey, even though I got it, can you give me some advice on how to manage it? Can you help teach me how to grow it? Has been a life-changing experience for me because my mom and my dad, rest in peace, were incredible people, blue collar that works very hard, but they also told me don't have more than one mortgage, right? Because that's how they grew up. It's like pay off all your bills.
Keep it under the mattress, all that stuff.
Keep it under the mattress, pay your house off and don't keep going. And so now we're learning so much, we're sharing so much, and it's just a beautiful thing where we are as Black people. You and I were talking on the phone a little bit earlier about how we need to work together and promote each other and support each other. Can you talk a little bit about why that's so important for you, especially being surrounded by so many people that don't look like us on a normal basis?
Well, I think that the times are changing in a great way, right? I love this stage here. Look, we all came out to support what you're doing, like you, all the Earn Your Leisure, like you see every one of us, 50, all of us, we come here to support you. I heard $100,000 was given away, right?
Yeah,
somebody won that $100,000. I do something called Black Entrepreneurs Day that I've given away now after 4 years, over $1 million. I'm gonna give away another $250,000 in Atlanta on November 22nd. And it's all about paying it forward, right? But I gotta tell you, the times are changing in such a great way. But I'm gonna give you some really crazy shit that you know. Dick Parsons is a mentor of mine. I'm not sure you know who Dick Parsons is. And I remember saying to Dick Parsons, I said, Dick, you know, I've only gotten maybe 7. I'm not talking about corporate people who may have to hire me for speaking and anything else. It's one-on-one. I've only got 7 African Americans who've ever written me a check. And he said to me, 7? I've only had 3. Because a lot of times we're so busy to support somebody else. Now times are changing here, like on this stage, and with so many other people. Then I gotta tell you something. It's a lonely road coming this way, but we have a bigger responsibility than who we are. I want you to think about this. Tell me another African American man or woman that you know on a national television stage that didn't come from music, sports, politics, or entertainment. I'm the only 16 years. Do you know how many of you in this room are smarter than me? That can dunk a ball, that can act. And I gotta tell you something, nothing against our brothers and sisters.
One girl said yes. Jesus Christ.
Nothing against our brothers and sisters that have made it there from acting and doing and athlete. Those are the top of the top of the top. But how many of you in this room should be in that seat? I'm a dyslexic, African American. By the way, 8 of the 12 sharks are dyslexic. I never went to college. I barely finished high school. The only thing I did notable in school is that I liked the 7th grade so much I took it twice. You know how many people in this room are smarter than me that deserve that stage? We have to highlight people like you on these stages, and that's what they did this time with all the young. Absolutely, give it up to yourself.
Yeah, this has been a beautiful day of watching Pinky Cole,
the little savant kid.
Yes, the mathematical kid, and it's just been a beautiful day.
The only big stage like this I've been on is Afrotech in here. That's it. So we have to break that cycle, and there's so many people in the room. Let me give you another stat. I've never been on the cover of not one African American publication. Pick one.
Yeah, when Dee said that earlier, I was like, that can't be true.
Now, there's a reason that I ain't on, Vibe. I can't sing. But we have to break that. And I don't, you know what? I'm not looking for that credit. I'm on CNBC 40 times a week. I'm the Kardashian of CNBC. I don't need more fame. But Pinky is now starting to be on so many more books and the covers of books of all colors. Now I've sold the #1 amount of magazines in ink history, and I've sold the #3 in ink history. I've been on ink 3 times. I'm on Success Magazine now. Not one African. Thank you.